Conservation Subcommittee for Tuesday, February 25th, 6 p.m. Council Chambers. We have the public comment section, open for the public, speak for 2 minutes. Anybody inquiring? Do we have anything on Zoom?
Nope.
Nothing, okay. Approval of minutes, June 25th meeting. Myself and Councilor Emanuel were present for that one. Absent was Councilor Savini. Can I get a motion to approve those?
Motion to approve the June 25th, 2024 minutes.
I'll second that. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any abstention? And the November 26th, 2024 meeting, myself and Councilor Savini were present. Absent was Councilor Emanuel. Getting a motion to accept those minutes.
Make a motion to approve the November 26, 24 minutes.
I'll second that. All in favor? Aye. Any abstention? Okay, we're getting to discuss community garden, Rock Hill Community Farm.
Well, Steve and Dave Palmberg from Steve's office worked, I know, with Councilor Whalen and Lisa Gilbert. And they also worked on a potential project schedule. And Steve is going to take it from there with all the details.
Do we have this up on screen or no?
No.
No. All right. So everybody has this sketch. Cameras.
I'm gonna go and get it,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah. How many copies do you have?
Just mine.
You all have copies of that map?
Did you got
have
the
it.
cap?
You
Is
have it
this?
up
Is it in the packet?
Yeah, should be.
Yeah, it was,
It was in the packet.
Here.
We're sharing. We're good.
You guys are good?
Yeah, we're good.
All right.
We got one, Dave.
So, so as you're looking at it, the orange rectangle there is the barn, and then the parking area. And then the green would be the first round of
where's yours over here?
gardens. And we showed a variety of sizes, 10 by 10, 10 by 20, 20 by 20, and raised beds. So there's 10 raised beds and then 88 of the others. So, we're close to 100 spots. We showed a spot for rock disposal for when you till. You said that we'd have rocks, so we'd have to, make a pile. And then plant waste, just plant waste, not anything else. Will go in one corner. And then what's not shown, between the wetlands, which is the dark line and the little V-looking things at the bottom, and the green of the gardens, we'd probably do a berm of wood chips, kind of like as a better-looking thing than a silt fence. So it act as a barrier and to any kind of erosion that might happen. And then we can go on to a schedule. So we need to bring in topsoil. We have topsoil down at the pit, as we call it, down at the Industrial Park Phase 2. We think it probably needs to be screened. Otherwise, we're going to have clumps of grass and rock and all that. So I'm not sure if we have somebody local that has a screen that, can help us out with that, so it's not a cost. But we're going to need, we figure it's going to be 7 yards a truck, 4 trucks. We could spare roughly 6 hours a day, an hour round trip. And we need 600 yards. So we're looking at a week's worth of time anyways to get that material over. So we're looking at first, second week in April, getting rolling on the prep. Again, another thing we need is the raised beds. And we talked about maybe that could be a Boy Scout project or maybe a high school workshop project, not sure. Obviously, we can't use the pressure-treated lumber. We have to use regular lumber. And we'd have to have some kind of plan. So hopefully we could find some in-kind services or, a project for somebody who needs it for their senior project or Eagle Scout or that kind of thing. And then, as I said, we have to screen the topsoil. We're figuring there's probably 3 to 4 days there. And then driving it over is another week. So if we got rolling beginning mid-April, we could be ready by May, beginning of May.
I'm sorry, Steve, what was the height of that topsoil that you needed?
We just estimated we need 600 yards, 4 to 6 inches. I think we're talking 6 inches if I recall right. And then,
Does it have to be screened?
well, if it's
Can it
not
be-
screened, we're gonna have
Can it be dropped off and then?
chunks of
maybe-
everything.
Maybe, I don't know, but is it possible for like one of the farmers to
I don't know,
kind of till it up a little bit?
because a lot of what we have is when we're doing road project and we're removing, say, curb, we pull the curb, and then to put the curb back, we have to have about 2 feet to get the machine, so we go and scrape that. So it's gonna have road sand and salt, it's gonna have chunks of asphalt, it's gonna have chunks of grass, it's gonna have rocks. So I think it probably makes sense to screen. I don't know, I'm not the farmer. Maybe you guys could,
Yeah, we don't want asphalt.
yeah, we don't want one of the
The
stuff in
only
there.
concern, and you just said that, is if there's salt mixed in there.
Well, it's probably some road salt. There's gonna be, I mean, it's
Not gonna, that's not gonna be kosher for plant growth.
yeah, that's another thing we probably want to do is have that soil tested. It has not been tested.
What about like the organic loam soil that the town provides?
We do have that. I'm not sure how much we have.
That would be,
I can find
that
that
would be
out.
ideal.
Turn that in. Yep. So, but like I said, we need to have that tested first.
Why are you putting so much topsoil down there? Not using what's there and
Well,
just
what's
add
there
to it?
really? What's there? I don't think is really is topsoil. We do have a report. Zuvich is the consultant that did all the plan there, and we had another firm called Atlas just review it and make sure that, because we never looked at doing the gardens in this
Plan,
area, we
right.
want to make sure it was okay. So they came back with their findings in their report. It's 5 pages, 6 pages here, 7. It's okay to use, and I think they recommended amending it with some topsoil, turning it in. Let's see. I'm trying to find it here. I'm not finding it real quick.
So it's possible just to kind of use the existing
Oh.
base and then add to it?
To address this area of elevated arsenic, because, there's some areas that had arsenic, but is naturally occurring, and that protective measures to human contact and exposure, a minimum 1 foot layer of clean fill was installed as a barrier during the completion of site remediation, blah, blah. No, that wasn't it either. I know it's
Well,
here
there's
somewhere.
no arsenic in this area,
It's just naturally occurring arsenic. The whole site has naturally occurring arsenic.
but it's not a hazard.
Not a hazard. That's why we had them review this. We didn't want to have somebody, start working, all of a sudden it's no good, so.
Right. That leaf mulch and like stuff Ms. Gilbert was saying, think that could be added on and we could plow it in and,
We could. Like I
Oil,
said,
see how
I
it
don't know how
goes.
much we have at this time.
okay.
I know we have the topsoil.
And does it have a lot of chunks in it and stuff or what?
It's got stuff. I mean, we can relook at it.
Yeah.
Again,
Let's try
we'll
that.
probably want to have it tested.
I think like town manager says, if it's not asphalt, we could work it into the soil or help
Yeah.
work it into the soil.
Big potatoes. I mean, there could be some good sized chunks in there, I guess they might get pulled out as you.
Yeah.
As you,
Maybe that's what we'll have to do.
all right,
Try.
so. We're just looking, we don't want to pay somebody to do this. We're looking.
Right.
If somebody has that equipment.
What's the area for all of the whole garden area? Guess how many beds?
88 beds, so there's 22, 44, 20 by 20, and there's 22 at, Dave figured 600 yards of soil.
You have 98 here, Steve. 98 beds.
98.
90 beds, yeah, I'm just trying to figure out Ray's asking for square feet.
I would
so-
imagine you would do this in phases. I mean, all 98 beds at one time is,
I was
I
just
don't
gonna,
think
I was
so.
just gonna ask that. I mean,
Right.
Is this inclusive just for town residents?
yes.
Do you think there's
Well,
an interest
I-
for,
I say yes, but it's up to the subcommittee, but I think it should be.
Yeah.
I mean, do you think there's interest out there for 98 beds?
Well, I think,
I'm thinking once the applications go out and people, when you receive them back into the town, I'm thinking you would get a better idea of how many people are inquiring about having a garden at the Strasca farm. And then, I mean, if you get 90, 98 people that are interested, let them,
We don't,
But
got-
even
you've
if there's
got the
60
plot.
people interested and they want a couple of plots.
In the initial poll, it was like 47, I think, if I recall right.
oh, but the Yukon
The
study?
Yukon poll.
I think it was 50, right around
It was around the 50
yeah.
mark, so we're about double that. You know, and
And really,
I would just think to prep the area, if we're gonna prep it and lay it out, just do the whole thing. It's not a huge area. It's,
What was it?
5,000 square feet,
5,000?
a little over maybe. It's not a huge area, so just till it all up. We lay it out, mark it, stake it, and go from there. If they don't sell, they don't sell.
So after this is all prepped and the plots are allocated to those interested, is it up to that resident to maintain it with soil and, like 6 months or 4 months down the road, if they wanted to put compost down or whatever?
Yeah, it'd
That's
be
up to
your
them,
own little
right?
garden. So, there'd be rules and regulations about pesticides and chemicals and what you can and cannot do, but,
But would we want to move any of the town garage compost to the barn?
no.
No.
It's a different kind of operation.
Okay. I'm just kind of throwing it out there because
Yeah.
I know somebody would ask.
No, our compost is laid out in furrows right now, and it gets turned and watered and turned and watered. That's the leaf matter, and then eventually it gets mixed in, and then they put it out. And actually, we don't even put it out where we used to because we're finding that it was disappearing like that, and it's basically the contractors taking it. So, and that's a problem not just here, but other places with that kind of material. So it's now at the town garage, so it's monitored a little better.
Okay.
Good.
what's going to go in between the lots? Because, I see the 20 sections
So-
of 22.
It'll be some kind of aisleway. Chances are it'll be just dirt that'd be, walked on and compacted, have weeds growing in it eventually. I was looking around at some pictures, we'll say, from other towns and what they do, and there's really nothing formal. It's just a path.
Could it be like crushed granite or crushed stone?
Yeah, they don't even do that because then in the fall they plow the whole thing. It gets plowed right in.
Oh, even, okay.
It gets turned and plowed up. Yeah. I have pictures here actually of one. They're pretty decent pictures I could show you. Let's see.
I'd suggest just leaving that as a grass area, and maybe Park and Rec could blow a mower down through there every now and then.
So,
So we plow that up right across that whole area. You get rain and stuff, that's all gonna be mud.
Yeah,
People are
so
gonna be walking through
here's-
that, and
here's
left it as a grass area, it's
so
grass.
here's
You could
Grand
walk on it,
River in
stable.
Farmington, huge area, about probably 10 times this size, and they just plow the whole area, divide up the plots. So you see the spring prep, and then you'll see a summer picture, and then you'll see the fall. It's just all plowed.
Yeah, it's a really wet area, our property.
Not that wet.
Yeah. We used to walk
And that's
it.
underwater once a year anyways.
That's
It's
floodplain?
right on the river.
All right.
Yeah, that's usually underwater in the spring. Another thing I've seen is people bring rain barrels and just put them out and catch the rainwater so they can water their gardens, leave it on their plot.
And what's this latest strategy on the wells? Are they going to be used?
Not at this time.
Okay.
Doesn't the grade come down though, like where the driveway goes to the barn? It drops.
It
right?
does drop off, yeah.
Yeah, so to Fran's point, potentially, we might have some, even though it's not a wet area.
Maybe.
During rain, it might.
Yeah.
Runoff, yeah, erosion.
Yeah, hence why we're putting those wood chips down lower to hold anything back.
Yeah.
I just don't know how easy it's gonna be to go and plow this little, I don't plow, so if it's like driving a tractor, I guess you can, do this area, skip a spot, do this area, skip a spot,
Exactly.
so.
That's, leaving a space in between helps with erosion too.
Yeah,
As
it wouldn't
days
hurt,
can-
it wouldn't hurt.
Right, so that's a
I'm just
big
thinking
thing.
ease, I mean, just do the whole thing at once, but if he can leave that space, great.
Yeah, it's easier to do it in
Yeah,
sections.
leave like a 5-foot spot.
Sections, right, just,
So you can walk in and out, a
right.
little drier.
So you would never disturb the in-between.
I would suggest that,
aisles, right,
correct,
okay.
yeah, that's what I would suggest.
So that's why you want it to be grass, vegetation, whatever.
Yeah, natural,
So
Steve,
we'd have to lay it out ahead of time.
who's-
definitely.
Who's developing the rules and regulations for,
We are, all of us as a group.
so it'll be posted, and so
It'll
if
be
somebody's
online, there'll
interested
probably
in
be
the
something
plot,
down there,
they'll
yeah.
have a whole step-by-step.
Yep,
Be rules, application.
Yeah.
A fee.
yeah. We already have a draft. I think we might have gone over that last time. I'm not sure.
So what was your time?
Well, it's about a month, 3 weeks. If we're bringing all that soil over, it's a week just to bring the soil over. And then we gotta turn it in.
The raised beds, are they, you said they were wood?
Well, they have to build them out of wood, or
Right.
you can get metal, but, that, we'd have to, I don't know, you have to weigh which can be,
We're building them and letting people.
How would you plow with the wood?
well, the wood's gonna be,
Only,
that
there's
you have
only
to turn
10
by
beds.
hand.
There's only
You have to
10
turn by
beds
hand.
of
They're
wood.
small. They're small, they're, 4x10s.
Oh, okay.
So you have to turn
Those
that
are
by
those
hand. They're gonna be
small- yeah.
raised, so you don't have to bend down, get on your
Separate
knees.
area.
4x10.
And so it'll be up maybe
That would
table
be
height,
grass area,
turn
too.
them over.
Yeah, exactly, it wouldn't be touched by the plows.
That they'll have to plow.
They don't have wood.
No, this is just, we're gonna stake those out.
Who's gonna build those?
Well, these, the
The wood, the
the
raised
wood ones,
beds?
that's what we're looking for.
Get an Eagle Scout to do that?
That's what we're
Oh,
looking
I
for, like an Eagle
apologize.
Scout
That's what you're
or,
referring to.
or some, a shop class. Maybe they need it for the senior project, senior, to graduate, that kind
Great
of thing.
idea, yeah.
So, get some community involvement that way.
I like that.
So how do we go about that? Do we just like reach out to the,
We could reach out to scouts, we could reach out to, we've reached out to the principal.
okay,
Good. That's really gotta get going.
Yeah.
I mean, the kids are out in June, we want these
So,
built by May.
Yeah, so we just want,
If we're
we
gonna
wanna
do
settle
it.
on a plan, and then we'll, start that legwork.
Sure, that sounds good.
you got 10 of them? You got 10 of them on the plot.
We're showing 10. Again, we don't have the budget to be buying much right now,
We'd have to buy the wood even.
not
if they
today.
built it, right?
So that's our problem right now with those raised beds is the budget,
What's our budget, $10?
about that.
Yeah.
I don't think you have a budget for this particular
Yeah,
body.
we don't have a budget for this
All right, here's the-
project.
Yeah, we have some money in the farm budget, but we're out of,
Yeah,
we're under freeze right now.
Yeah.
But, we just have to prioritize things.
Right,
yeah, I know those metal ones, like, my neighbor just got a couple, and she said they're about $100 a pop they're about this big by, maybe 2 by 4. Those are about $100 a
This
piece,
is
and this is substantially
4 by
larger.
10.
Yeah, so I think, we need to come up with a plan too, to build to. So, and then again, maybe the local contractor might want to donate the material.
Fran, maybe for the next meeting, we could have, Steve, I mean, can you have the financials in place? So we can at least
Well-
talk about that?
See what we could do.
I mean, my suggestion is by the next meeting that we have, whether or not the high school can do it or the scouts.
right,
And if we need to get donations, how much?
yeah,
Well, how about also once you get the applications out, people are gonna be paying for the plots.
Yeah,
So I mean,
point.
there's money there
Oh,
that could be allocated to the building
yeah.
material.
And that's another
So-
thing we need to decide is, the fee.
It's a good question, Lisa. Is it a bigger fee for the raised bed? Do you
I would
know?
think so. And the bigger fee for the bigger plot.
Yeah.
You could charge by square foot or whatever, so you gotta, what do we have, a 10, a 20, and a 40?
We have 20 by, right.
So maybe it's $1 a square foot, so you gotta, because most of the towns are around the $35, $40 for the plot, so if you said 40 for the big ones, 20 for the medium, 10 for the small. I know that sounds kind of less, not a lot. And
Fran, at one point you mentioned $35.
yeah.
That's what, yeah.
So that's what I was saying. If we go 40 for the big ones, 30, then I'm down to 10,
10 is
10.
kind of low. So we will propose a fee.
Didn't
Well,
the
the
study,
20 by 20, that's 400 square feet, so.
Yeah. So I'm.
So you do
It's not a
40
dollar.
bucks,
That'd be $400. So, but like $40.
Okay, yeah.
Okay,
$40, $30, and then maybe 20
right.
for the
Something
smallest
like that.
or the raised.
Well, I think the raise should be, that's a
more.
luxury.
in this study that the Yukon, they had a price when they did a survey.
Yeah.
How much,
And we
how
also
much
did our own
people were
survey.
willing to pay for a plot.
So
I think it was like at least $50.
Yeah, I 40 or 50 is good for the
Yeah.
large ones, for sure.
Yeah.
yeah.
We got 44 of those.
Yep.
You do that 50, and then you do those smaller ones at, 35.
Yeah.
Because I presented that once before as what I found from the surrounding towns, and it was anywhere from like, I think it was like $10 up to like 50. So, and then their Yukon study was around 50, for decent sized things. So,
Who's gonna till it? I mean, did I hear volunteers or no? I didn't.
Yeah, the farmers are gonna help out. We'll get it prepared.
What type of year, when during the season do you get to that?
May, first part of May.
Okay.
Depending on how wet it is over there too.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm hoping the Gilberts will help us.
Oh, absolutely.
No chicken manure.
Come on.
Material. Come on, that's great material.
we can move it around town, a nice holder, and love it.
Have to put your snuggles on.
But that's why,
Well, I think we should, so should we try to set up cost? I mean, should we go 50, 35,
sounds
25? And then 35 for the raised beds?
If you guys want to set it, that's fine.
The raised beds, I wouldn't think are gonna be more than what, 8 feet by 3 feet?
They're
4
4
by
by
10, so 40.
Oh, 4 by
Maybe
10.
even, it could maybe even be a 4 by 8, because if you
Probably.
maybe using a
Yeah.
piece of plywood or something for the bottom, that'd be a lot easier. 4 by 10, call it a day.
right, I think you're right. 4 by 8,
All right, 4 by 8 's probably, yeah, because that's your cut and lumber.
correct, yeah.
Might be a little easier than a 4 by 10. Or just another half sheet of plywood, or actually quarter.
What do you guys think for a price for raised beds we should charge?
I'm fine with the majority.
Okay.
I think 35, I think the middle. I think they're
raised
gonna be
beds.
more attractive.
What's that?
They're easier to maintain. they're not gonna-
Oh, it's gonna cost more
Yeah, yeah.
development too.
The 20 by 20.
Right, so, I mean, if we go 50 for the large lots, the 400 square foot lots, then we
Which is,
have
what, 20 by 20?
20 by 20 is the 400 square foot lots, and then the 20 by 10 is 200, so we go down to 35. I think Ray mentioned, I think that's not bad. And then for the smallest, we could go 25. I mean, you can't really go below.
So you said what, 50, 25, or 35?
50, 35, 25, because you have three sizes here.
Yep. And then for the raised, go,
I think 35, middle.
How big are those little plots? 10 by
Those
10?
are 10 by 10, 100 feet, 100
10 by
square feet.
10. For 25?
Yeah, 50, 35, 25. I mean, it's our first year. If
Yep.
we don't fill, we can always change it.
Steve, part of the rules and everything like that, I mean, is there any chance you could reach out to Farmington and find out if they've received, if the users complain against other users and how they contact authorities or how they remediate issues with their neighbors on the plots and,
yeah, I'm sure everybody has issues. I mean,
I just want to make sure it's all
no
in
matter how
place.
big or small a project is, you're always gonna have people complaining about their neighbors.
And they could call the town manager directly.
Yeah. Well, he's gonna be
He won't be-
running the
I'll be
whole
out in the field.
project, yeah.
With a shovel.
He'll have one of the plots.
They probably should have a plan, though, of who they're gonna
No,
call.
well, that'll all be in the rules, and then, all the rules and regulations we've seen, there's nothing about mediating, disputes, but, I can reach out to a few of the towns, Weathersfield has them, Cromwell I think has them, Farmington has them, South Windsor had them.
You did a spreadsheet.
I did, the local
I just want to make
towns.
sure that there's something
Chris?
that we have in place instead of waiting until something occurs.
Yeah, because I'm sure you're gonna have, well, he stole my, carrots or something, but how do you prove it,
Right.
unless you see it?
Now, there's possibility of a nonprofit also kicking in.
Yep.
Volunteering. That I am pretty sure there is a not-profit being formed or called Rocky Hill Farm something. And person I spoke to indicated that they'd be willing to, on a volunteer basis and, managed by the town, that they would go in and, do various items that need to be done.
That's
So they
great.
can monitor it also for us.
Sure.
And all the payment and the processing will all go through Parks and Rec.
Chris, did you have any comments about the raised beds pricing, 35, 20 by 20 plat, 50, 20 by 10, $35, 10 by 10, 25? Any concerns or anything?
You muted.
You're muted.
He's not.
No?
No, he's on our
Hold on a minute, we're trying to get you.
Thank you for your opinion, Chris. Moving on.
Gee. Sorry. All right, well, we'll get back to you, sorry, and as well as any other concerns you have, once we get you
Yeah.
with audio. What else we got, Steve, with this?
We were talking about the staking and how we delineate the plots. And we're thinking that we're gonna use metal fence posts versus sinking wood in, because I think come fall, you just gonna yank them out so you can plow right through to turn the fields at the end of the year and not have to go around all these metal things. So we're, posts that are permanent. So we were thinking that. And then we did these placards and they made a mistake. So they gave us the mistakes for nothing because, what else are we gonna do with them? Now, on one side, they do say Rocky Hill, Connecticut, and the other side, they're blank, so we're thinking we could just reuse these and put numbers of something. And for the aisles, I didn't want to open it because it's got like some serious tape on it, so.
Great,
That's something we can reuse.
They're metal.
They're metal,
a medal at that. Oh,
so,
nice.
and we just, I don't know,
Attach
somebody,
them to the stake.
nice handwriting or, a template and paint it, one,
Like
A,
that.
B. We can come out with a numbering system, of
Brandon's
course.
so happy about this, you don't even understand.
Great job, using resources we have.
That's what we're trying to do.
That's right, thank you.
It'd be nice to put the number on the side that already says Town of Rocky Hill, and maybe we could cover up the logo,
But that's
but
okay.
it'd be kinda small.
Oh, and it's heavy, too.
Well, there's a whole bunch of them.
How many are in there, by the way?
They're not gonna.
Like
I think they did like 500 that are wrong, because we got them for wetlands, we had the conservation easement,
Yeah.
so the placards, and we ran out, so we got new ones, and they were supposed to say conservation easement on them,
think
and
that's
they kinda
great.
forgot to put that part on, so they gave us those and they redid them,
Yeah.
Great, that works.
yeah. So we have those
See, he's still got the mute down.
metal fence posts that we need to obtain, and we'd have to figure out how many.
What kind of posts?
Just like those signposts, like you see, the green,
Yep.
put them in.
That works.
And then at the end of the season.
Something easy,
Pull them
yeah.
out, we just go out there, there's a thing, you pound them in,
Yep.
and
that's
then
great.
take them out at the end of the year.
This one right here.
That works.
He needs to
Park
see
and Rec does
USB
that.
audio.
We could probably do that in-house.
Oh, good.
Yeah, town crew or whatever.
Yeah, we'd have to lay it out, Dave and I would stake it out, lay it out.
Yeah.
Maybe put some control points, like monuments or something that hopefully don't run over, put them out of the way so we could just set up on them in the future and have our bench, our baseline to go off of.
Good.
For every year, year after year, so it's there.
Yeah, perfect.
Yep. Anything else on that? I think we covered all. We had that,
I'll call Chris on this cell.
let me just look. Here, I have the list. So we talked about the report, they reviewed it. We had the concerns about, the question about the raised garden beds, who's gonna construct, who's gonna purchase, and then determine the final dimensions and design. We're saying maybe 4 by 8 makes sense, be easier. Topsoil, 2 samples. Yeah, we're gonna have this, tested. I think I've covered everything. 61 posts will be needed with the markers we have. Fence posts, we're talking for the post types, and then who to install. We talked about that. We could probably do it in-house. So yeah, that's kind of everything we had there
I
on
think
our
a
list.
priority for next meeting, we got to get the rules and the applications
Rules,
done.
regulations, yeah, well, we'll basically have it ready to go.
Okay.
So come April 1 or something, we could open it up.
But I
Our
mean,
next
we have
meeting
to
is
approve
end of
them.
March.
You
We
get
got to
the,
prove it as a committee.
When's that
Yeah.
next meeting?
Financial information
And,
also.
March 25th.
End of March, so beginning of April, we could open it up.
And
I
then
didn't-
we need to line up, like, maybe the seniors at the high school, they have to do community service or something.
Yeah,
or
well, we can start rolling on that now.
yeah.
If that's what we've kind of decided, see if we can get some of that taken care of.
Materials.
Yep.
Got a lot to do for our
Yeah.
next meeting.
Chris, do you have any
Get
comments?
this stuff done. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if you can hear, but there's a couple things I wanted to just check off. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So.
Can you put them up there?
I don't know if
Can you put up the
A
mic?
while back, I think it may have been a reference for the dump. Joe Kohanek had talked about maybe getting soil from an excavation project. I think this is when MDC was digging their tunnel, but it was, subterranean soil. I don't know if there's a local project that might be going on where maybe it's cheaper for someone, if it was suitable, to drop off at the site versus, where they're going to take it to. And if it would, we could potentially work out with someone on a more local project to get some of the soil that way, if that was a possibility, if there's anything that would be kind of going on in the time frame. But if that could get us soil and also not having to spend a week worth of truck time, that might be worth exploring if it is an option.
Yep, that's a good idea.
I do think that the nonprofit is a really good idea if we can help them get that set up, especially if it's a 501c3, because that opens up funding from particularly the Hartford Foundation, where they've been increasing the amount of funding that towns are getting. So if that is something where there's a local nonprofit doing something for the benefit of the community, they would have a pretty good chance, I think, at pursuing grants for the types of improvements that we'd be looking at, things that are a couple $1,000s that probably aren't for the town budget, but might help the project. So anything that we can do there to help them get up to speed would be useful. And the other thing I was thinking about that I didn't see on the plan is that I don't know if there's an idea for a potential shared tool shed. Maybe something that has like a combination. I mean, again, I know we don't have a lot of money. Maybe it could be donated. Maybe it's down the road. But if we could think about maybe where we would want to site something like that, and then it's a combination lock or a key. I mean, there's probably some risks there. But I don't know how the other community gardens are managing their tools. But I don't know if it's something where people are going to be bringing their own trimmers and weeders and shovels and hose and all that and just kind of leaving it around, or if there's a place to secure them, or if people are just going to throw it in their car and then come back. It might be something where the people who have the garden club may want to have a shared space for their tools. So something to consider there as well. That's something out there.
Well, right now, the barn could be used for storage.
I don't know if,
You don't-
I don't know if anybody supplies tools.
No.
Usually you bring your own
Bring your own.
stuff.
Right.
From your, whatever you want to plant to the tools you need to the water.
The
Which I
South
need.
Windsor, they say on here that they have to bring their own hose and they have to detach it after each time, and all their tools, they have to take it away each
Take
time.
home.
Yeah.
Right.
To Chris's point about the soil, I'm not sure if you remember 6 or 7 years ago when we were talking about the town dump, and they wanted to truck in all this soil. They needed like 20 inches of topsoil.
Yeah, they
And
wanted
I
60
remember
feet of fill.
Joe had helped talk to MDC about what they deemed clean soil.
It'd be clean fill, it wouldn't be
Clean fill,
topsoil.
yeah.
It's just stuff they're taking out of the hole. You know, they're doing an excavation in the street, so what they're digging down to, you know, sometimes they gotta get rid of.
Right, okay.
So it's not gonna be any kind of farming kind of soil, it's gonna be what's underneath your road, whatever was under there, down, you know,
Okay.
10, 12 inches, whatever that native soil was, it's not gonna be organic, and chances are,
Okay.
so.
All set, Chris?
Thank you. Very good comments. Thanks a lot. Anything else with this?
I think that's all we have for this for now. So next meeting, we'll have a packet
Great.
for pricing schedule, which we've decided, rules and regulations. I'll find out about, you know, other towns and what they do. I think Sabrina just found out that, yes, they, you know, like another local community, you bring in your own stuff and you leave with it. Kind of like camping, you know, bring it in and remove it when you're done. Don't leave a mess. So we'll have all that. We'll see if we can get some volunteers to build these planting beds, and we'll come up with plans for them. So
Great.
She mentioned something about hoses, and I may have missed this, but are we bringing water here?
no, we don't have water at this time. No.
Okay.
So I was saying, if
So when they said they have like the water reservoir, and you're more than welcome to hook up to it with
Yeah.
the Y hookup and.
Yeah. So that's what I was saying. I noticed that in some of these communities, people bring a 55-gallon drum, like a water barrel, and leave it open, just collect rainwater, and then use that.
Could be a couple of community drums, you know.
Could be, but some people, you know, you look and there's 2 or 3 on one plot. People just bring their own. You know, it's kind of like, here's the land, you farm it, but you have to supply everything. That's the
Right,
way a lot
right,
of
yeah.
these
No, I
towns treat it,
agree.
because they don't have that room in their backyard, or, you know, they live in an apartment or condo or something.
Just for ha-has, is there any fire hydrants on New Road? Oh, there's
Nowhere
not.
near, now we're
Okay.
probably 1,000 feet away from
Is it?
water. Yeah, I don't think we have water sewer anywhere in the area.
Yeah, I think there's one closer to France Street.
Yeah.
That's too
Yeah.
far.
Yeah, we'd have to bring it all in.
Anything else from the committee? Any other questions, comments?
I'm good.
All right. We're going to be heading into executive session, negotiation strategy, potential land acquisition with the town manager, director of community development. Should I get a motion for that?
So moved.
Second?
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay.
Did you get those pictures? I'll just give them to Dan.
Yes, we have pictures.
Okay, we came back out of executive session for any other business.
No other business for me.
Okay,
Motion to
motion
adjourn?
to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.